IGN has some of the worst gaming reviews on the internet, so I decided to review them properly. I made this tier list going from 1 out of 10 games all the way up to the best of the best. Now, let's see if I agree with some of IGN's most controversial ratings. Now, the first game we are looking at is Battlefield 6. I'm sure a lot of you have definitely heard about this game recently. It has been blowing up a lot, especially because there's a big difference between COD and Battlefield. Battlefield focuses more on the army, realistic combat, war style, and COD is just yeah, I don't even know anymore. But Battlefield actually managed to steal a lot of Call of Duty fans, and in a very good way, because it stole me as well. I've been religiously buying COD nearly every year, and this is one of the few years I have not bought COD because Battlefield 6 is better in every single aspect. Now, we're just talking about the multiplayer. Some people don't really like the campaign. I think it's okay, but the multiplayer is really where it's at. There's many different playstyles you can have in Battlefield 6. You can be on the ground with your weapon and fight other people when there's like 64 people in the lobby, by the way. Or you can be up in the sky, or you can be in a vehicle. There's lots of different things to do, but I don't have any complaints for Battlefield 6 really. I think they did an absolutely amazing job overall. So in my opinion, before even seeing what IGN have said, I'm going to give this game a 9 out of 10. I think Battlefield 6 absolutely deserves that. So I haven't seen what IGN have said about this game. I'm not sure if they like it or dislike it. I know myself, I love it, but let's see the verdict.
Battlefield 6's multiplayer action is expertly crafted.
Okay,
a wonderful
100%.
layer of destructibility that both looks great and material affects
Feels
the flow
great
of
as well.
combat. The gunplay is excellent, with weapons
Gunplay
that are
is
accurate
definitely
enough
excellent.
to reward skilled shooting, but have just enough sway to promote a bit of careful thought.
Yeah, it's a
while
little
you
bit more
take aim.
realistic to gunplay, but I
wish the
personally
early
love that.
progression didn't delay the
Yeah, the progression is definitely one of the few complaints I have about this game. It's a little bit annoying trying to do the progression.
but most of the options play really well overall.
100%.
Besides, those are minor gripes with what is otherwise a great time.
Definitely.
Like
Minor
a precision
mistakes.
shot from my trusty
Yeah,
M2010
sniping is
sniper
absolutely
rifle.
beautiful.
This one's a hit.
8 out of 10. Great. Now, I do personally think it's a 9 out of 10. It's really rare you actually see a good review from IGN. They gave it an 8 out of 10. I don't know where they lost their 2 points from, but I put it in 9 out of 10. That's my personal opinion. Now, up next on the tier list is Elden Ring Neightreign. This is definitely going to be a little bit more controversial. Now, in my opinion, I love Elden Ring Neightreign. If you don't know anything about it, they basically turned Neightreign into more of a roguelike game, and they've reused a lot of assets, which is definitely completely fine, but in my opinion, Neightreign did a few things really, really wrong, okay? Now, don't get me started on the content. There hasn't been that much content since release. I haven't been playing it recently. I mean, I bet all the first bosses in the game and also some of the knife airs and the boosted versions, but I can talk about Neightreign for absolute days on like some things that I think they really did wrong. I really do love the concept of Neightreign. I've been praying for something like this, and they just really did under-deliver a little bit. I do think Neightreign has a really good foundation. It's just a little bit lackluster on the content. I'll probably give it a 7 out of 10 because honestly, it really needs content. At the start, I would have given it an 8 or maybe even a 9, but after all these many months, they haven't really added anything, and there's no reason for me to go back into the game after beating all the bosses. Oh yeah, and also no crossplay and no communication tools, and it took a very long time for them to release solos for it as well, so at the start, this game was really rough.
Ambitious spin-off that's exhilarating when you're able to create the proper conditions, and
They give it a 7 out of 10 as well. I mean,
when you're not.
I completely agree with them. A 7 out of 10 is literally the perfect review. I don't know what it is, but me and IGN have been agreeing completely the entire time so far. They said 7 out of 10, I said 7 out of 10. That is very, very fair. But the next one is the reason I made this video. I'm sure a lot of you guys have been playing Arc Raiders, and I've heard some bad things about the IGN review. I haven't seen what they actually gave it finally, so let's get straight into it. Now, before I even watch the video, Arc Raiders is the most it's fine game we've played in a while. That is an absolutely crazy statement.
It's one of the least surprising games I've ever played.
Least surprising
so
games
much
I've
in
ever
common with
played.
its inspirations,
I feel like
they're
this video
almost
is just rage
comically
bait.
indistinguishable. For preview purposes, this is a very good thing. If you enjoy other games about scavenging goods while avoiding PvP.
So before I get really triggered from this review, Arc Raiders is a new extraction shooter that literally just came out a few weeks ago. And in my opinion, it is one of the best extraction shooters I've ever played, okay? I'm not really mad into this genre, but after this game came out, it just is so good, okay? I don't know why they're showing Fortnite on the screen right now. Don't piss me off because there is absolutely nothing similar from Arc Raiders to Fortnite. I feel like this review is actually just rage bait and they just annoyed everyone just to get get more clicks.
There's very little that feels truly original, but the components bolted together from
And I
other
really don't know
successful
what they're
live
talking
service
about. This
games
game really does
click
feel original.
predictably
And the gameplay they're showing in the back here, I think it's a test review or something, but the game does not look like this, okay? It's one of the most beautiful looking games I've seen in a while. I'll show you guys what this game actually looks like after this tech test. But it is just amazing. Like, I don't know what is happening here. This game looks absolutely shite on my screen. It's so stuttery and laggy. I don't know. They might have been playing on a PC that's in your school or something, but it really does not perform like this, I can promise you. And also, this seems like a little bit of a skill issue because I don't know how he's died so many times while playing this. Bro, the gameplay on this video looks absolutely terrible. The game does not look like this.
Of their well-won games.
Why is it so laggy and stuttery? Like, what PC are they playing this on?
Buildings and overgrown vacant lots you'll find in a lot of post-apocalyptic shooters. Everything is serviceable, but it all kind of feels like they gave Fortnite a coat of DayZ grime and moved on.
A Fortnite with a DayZ grime. What was this guy smoking? And now, before we actually see IGN's verdict on this, I mean, it's not looking good so far. I'm personally going to put Arc Raiders in front of Battlefield 6. Okay, very, very controversial. I know. Battlefield 6 and Arc Raiders are two of the best games out right now. You and me, IGN, have been getting along well so far. I can't wait for you to absolutely rage bait me so hard now.
Arc Raiders previews pretty well, perhaps because its design conservatism makes it so instantly familiar. There's nothing here to challenge what came before, but sometimes that's okay. Overall, the Arc Raiders loop seems pretty well tuned to satisfy.
I have to pause real quick because this is the best extraction shooter out right now. I don't care what anyone says. Escape from Tarkov is maybe the next one on the list, but I think this game is a lot better than the other ones.
There are worse ways to spend an afternoon.
There's worse
For more
ways to spend
previews of
an
the biggest
afternoon.
upcoming games, don't miss our latest hands-on looks at Dune, Awakening, and
So
Marathon.
what's the final review? They just dogged on the game the entire time and didn't even say their final verdict. Like, hello? He didn't even get a single kill in the game, only AI enemies. Honestly, the gameplay really did look like a skill issue. He definitely put it down here. Bottom tree, he most definitely put it down there because he said it's so boring, it's so average, and it's so okay. I'm gonna put it all the way up here. I don't know what he was smoking when he was making that review. Now, I'm completely pissed off, but let's go on to Elden Ring. I'm surely they give this a good review, okay? Elden Ring is a 10 out of 10 game. It's a masterpiece. If they disagree with this, if it's anything lower than a 10, they're absolutely stupid.
What I was treated to can easily be held among the best open world games I've ever played.
Best open world games I've ever played. 100%. Best game I've ever played. 10 out of 10 masterpiece. Thank you, IGN, for not rage baiting me again. They really lost the mark on Arc Raiders, but they did redeem themselves a little bit there. They gave it a 10 out of 10 masterpiece. They really did not throw that 10 out of 10 around, by the way. They love giving games 9 out of 10s, 8 out of 10s if the game is like basically perfect. Now up next, I'm really interested about this one, Subnautica, one of my personal favorites. There's so much I can say about this game, but just looking at the gameplay, it is just absolutely peak, okay? It's a survival game. You're thrown into this world where there's massive creatures, leviathans out to kill you at all times. And the best thing about Subnautica is the fear. If you guys have a fear of the ocean like me, it is honestly hard trying to play this game. The amount of times I paused it because I actually couldn't stand the leviathans coming out to bite my ass. It was just too scary at sometimes. But the story is perfect. I'd give the story a 10 out of 10. There's just nothing I can say that is bad about this game, but look at the gameplay right now. Is that not the most terrifying thing you've seen in your entire life? But I can honestly yap about how good this game is for days, so I'm just not going to even say anything else. It's a survival game. It's perfect. It's from my favorite genre. The creatures in this game is perfect. The leviathans are perfect. So it's definitely not as good as Elden Ring, but it definitely deserves to go into the 10 out of 10 spot. I don't care what anyone says. Okay, let's see IGN's verdict.
Template for what open world survival games should strive to be.
100%.
It's fantastical, fresh, and frightening from surface to seabed.
Beautiful words to describe it.
Kept on
Fresh and frightening.
and a cast of sea monsters that quite literally haunted my dreams.
Yeah. Facts.
Even with more than 50 hours sunk, I have yet to discover all of its secrets.
Yeah, 100%.
It's
even
a
after
testament
100.
to how enticing those secrets are.
They
that
give
I'm
it a
willing to face my
9.1.
fears
Like I said,
and
they do
plunge
not
my
throw that 10 out of
submersible
10
into the
around at
darkest
all.
corners
But
of
they
its
did give it a
unforgiving ocean again
9.1,
and
which
again.
I definitely agree with. Honestly, I'm very surprised with some of these reviews. They have some of the most controversial reviews out there. They gave it a 9 out of 10. But in my opinion, it deserves a 10 out of 10. But past Subnautica, we have a little bit more of an interesting one. We have Halo Master Chief Collection. So Halo, I've really picked out some of the best games ever. In my opinion, Halo is the best campaign game out there. So for the whole collection, it has multiplayer, it has campaign, and I think it's only like €40 as well. 100% worth it. If you guys are a Halo fan and you haven't played Master Chief Collection for some reason, but the nostalgia from this is perfect. And don't think I forgot to put it into the tier list. In my opinion, Halo isn't a 10 out of 10 because there is some things dragging it back like Halo 4, I think it's fair to say it's better than Arc Raiders and Battlefield 6. So let's see IGN's verdict on it.
Overcoming its deserved reputation after a notorious launch, Halo the Master Chief Collection is now a polished super deluxe package of content
Polished
that
super deluxe. I like those words.
generations of amazing Halo games together. In a way
Come
that
on,
feels
I know
like
you
it
want
was
to.
made
Give it
by
a 9.
and for people who care deeply about this legendary shooter franchise.
Because I do. I care so much about this franchise.
Enhancements to the campaigns make it a joy to replay Master Chief's story
100%.
and its UNSC spin-offs, but it's the now smooth multiplayer that's worth coming back to over and over again.
Yeah, I mean, I agree. The multiplayer is amazing, and the campaign
shooters
is
ever made.
amazing.
It's a great redemption
9.5,
story, too.
amazing. And I'm very surprised to say this, but IGN have agreed with pretty much everything I ranked. Maybe a tier below or not, except for Arc Raiders, of course. Now, up next, we have another really recent game. We have Skate. So the Skate community right now is very, very mixed. On the other half, you have the people that are just enjoying the game. They're not talking about Skate 3. Oh, it's not like Skate 3. It's not like Skate 3. And then the other half, you have the people that just hate everything about it. Now, there is some things about Skate that I definitely do disagree with, which is the art style, okay? The art style looks a little bit goofy. It's not gritty, which is basically the whole thing from Skate 3. This game isn't realistic at all. You can literally hit the most ridiculous stuff on this game, which honestly makes it a lot funner. But in terms of just art style, it's definitely going to lose a lot of points, because if they made this game more gritty and more realistic looking, I can guarantee you this game would honestly be a 9 or 10 out of 10. But the strongest point about this game, and honestly the most important thing about it, is the gameplay, okay? The skate play. It feels so great, honestly. Doing the tricks, doing the skills, and when you finally hit that thing you've been trying to hit for hours, it just feels amazing. So honestly, the gameplay and the way the game feels is a 10 out of 10 if you're just looking at that. But combining it with the dodgy transactions and the really bad art style, I would personally put it probably a 7 out of 10. I would say it's better than Elden Ring Neightreign, unfortunately. Now for the last game, let's see if IGN agree with me.
Mentally irritating and unsatisfying in every other way that there is currently just no appeal here whatsoever for me to play this.
No appeal whatsoever is kind of crazy. The appeal is the gameplay. The gameplay feels great.
In 12 months time, or when it's no longer in early access, but it's left a horrible first impression. The fortnightification of Skate may well be the most disappointing thing to happen to skate culture since Razor's
What? Are you serious? Really? They're giving it a 4 out of 10. I think that is very harsh. So I gave Skate a 7 out of 10, but they gave it a 4 out of 10, which I think is very harsh. And I have to say, I really do disagree. Now, this is the final tier list. In the 10 out of 10 spot, we have Elden Ring. Me and IGN agreed on this, okay? We both agreed Elden Ring is a 10 out of 10 perfect game. Up next again, we have Subnautica. In my opinion, is a 10 out of 10 game. IGN gave it a 9 out of 10, so honestly, pretty close. In the 9 out of 10 spot now, we have Halo. I gave it a 9 out of 10. IGN agreed with me. They gave it a 9 out of 10 as well. And beside that, we have the most controversial one in the video, Arc Raiders. They didn't even give this an official rating because they hated it so much. It would have been a 1 out of 10 if they did review it, because they said it's so bland. Obviously, the most hated review out there right now has a lot more dislikes than likes. Don't worry, Arc Raiders, you did an absolutely amazing job. Don't listen to IGN. And beside that, we have Battlefield 6, which we both agreed on. Surprisingly, I gave it a 9 out of 10. They did as well. And in the lower rankings, I gave Skate and the Elden Ring Neightreign a 7 out of 10. They gave Skate a 4 out of 10, which I think is very, very harsh. And then beside it is Elden Ring Neightreign. We both agreed it's a little bit mediocre. It's not as good as it could have been. Do you guys agree with my re-ranking of each of these? This is my final re-rank. They definitely did have some disagreements on this one as well. But let me know down below if you guys agree with this. Thank you guys for watching the entire video. I'll see you guys in the next one. Let me know if you want to see a part 2. Have a great rest of your day, and peace.